It's gonna bite me.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ethan Zahn, and welcome to Earth Tripping. I'm on a journey to explore the biggest cities in the world in an eco-friendly way. This is travel with a whole new perspective, one that's environmentally and culturally sensitive. I'm out to see the city, meet the locals, experience their culture, and learn the innovative ways they help to preserve our planet. Just north of the equator, this city proudly displays two of the tallest buildings in the world and some of the oldest rainforests on the planet. This is Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
From the heart of the Malay culture to bamboo rafting on the Langat River.
How's the balance on these things?
To dinner via wheelbarrow.
It smells delicious.
Time for some earth tripping in KL. Kuala Lumpur, or KL as it's commonly called, is situated on the west coast of Malaysia in the state of Selangor. It's home to 1.5 million people, and it's the capital of the fastest growing country in Southeast Asia. KL began as a mining settlement, and only 150 years separate the time when this modern city was a pristine forest. The population is a mix of Asian cultures, and the main religion is Islam.
In the Malay language, Kuala means confluence and Lumpur means mud. So KL was actually named after this very spot where the Klang and the Gombak rivers meet. And occupying this historic location is the city's oldest surviving mosque, the Masjid Jamek.
Surrounded by a grove of palm trees, the Masjid Jamek is the center of KL. Its design was inspired by the Mughal architecture of India, and it was built on the first Malay cemetery in KL. All the bodies had to be exhumed. From the mosque, it's only one block to the colonial section of the city, Merdeka Square.
About a half a century ago, this is where Malaysia announced its independence from Britain and raised its flag for the very first time.
Overlooking the square is the Royal Selangor Club, the gathering place for high society. This is where the worldwide running and drinking club, the Hash House Harriers, first kicked off in 1938. Directly opposite the field is the striking Sultan Abdul Samad building, the most eye-catching in all of KL. During British rule, it served as government headquarters, and after Malaysia's independence, it was converted into a courthouse. Today, city residents flock to the clock tower to usher in the new year. No matter where you walk in this city, there's one landmark that you can always count on to give you a sense of direction: the shiny Petronas Towers. Until recently, they were the tallest buildings in the world. And lying in their shadow is Kampung Baru, the original Malay neighborhood of Kuala Lumpur.
This village was originally sectioned off by the British to ensure the Malay would always retain their own land. It's a maze of winding streets with traditional wooden homes, small shops, and houses covered with zinc and tin roofs.
This Kampung Baru is really one of the last bastions of traditional houses in Kuala Lumpur because you have a very village kind of feel, and that's why people love it. People were basically invited to come as farmers. Those who were already here were given the plots of land. As time went by, the land was distributed among the descendants. So now there are a lot of owners and they are free to sell the land, but as one restriction, they can only sell it to other Malay people.
The kampung is packed with small shops, which are a great place to find traditional and even customized Malay clothing.
This is a typical Malaysian songkok, and it's made out of velvet. It covers the head.
This hat, not so much me. Maybe I'll have better luck with a sarong.
Just follow what I do.
Okay.
Okay, put it over your head there. These are very comfortable. You wear them at home, you wear them to the mosque. You quickly swing around either your left or right hand like this. Okay, can you do that? Just quickly swing. Oh, you have to, yeah, you can put your chin. That's a little bit cheating, but that's fine. Okay, then just put the other one over it as well.
All right.
Okay, okay, like this. And so you just tuck it in. Tuck it in as much as you like. Tuck it in. Okay, and there you go.
I think it looks all right.
Yeah.
My journey here coincides with the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, where Muslims fast between sunrise and sunset.
During Ramadan, the Kampung Baru Mosque accepts food donations to help with a traditional porridge called bubur lambak. Najib and I are taking these bags of rice to give to the mosque and help volunteer with some of the cooking.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Welcome to our Masjid Kampung Baru.
We have some rice for you.
Everyone working here is a volunteer. It's good merit to provide food for those who are fasting. So when they break the fast at sundown, there's something for them to eat.
So it's almost an honor to come here and help cook the food.
It's an honor. It's fun. The name bubur lambok simply means mixed mass porridge.
The taste depends a lot on the ingredients donated and can be any combination of beef, chicken, or goat.
One pot of porridge can feed up to 200 people.
Garlic and onion.
That's a wonderful smell. Whew. Am I doing a good job? It's cooked with love. In my hand, I have the secret blend of spices, and that's what makes this porridge so special. No one but these chefs in here know what goes in this bag. That has some punch to it. Oh my God.
This tradition began as a way of feeding the poor.
Smells good.
But nowadays, it's popular for anyone in the village to come by for a share of the bubur lambak. Today we have 2,000 bags to hand out.
So you can see everyone standing in line. Salam bubur. Every person gets one bag, and you're only supposed to pass the food on with your right hand. Correct?
Yes, culturally here, it's always with the right hand. It's the polite hand.
Now I noticed there's only men in this line. Do women get to break fast as well?
Oh yes, don't worry. The women have their share inside.
Islamic law is strictly observed during the month of Ramadan here in KL. In fact, if you're Muslim and caught eating during the day, you can be fined and even arrested. Salam bakur.
The mosque isn't the only place to get food for the evening breakfast. As sundown approaches, the streets of Kampung Baru come alive with people picking up their evening meal. After fasting and working all day, the last thing they want to do is cook. The government is planning to make Malaysia a fully developed nation by 2020. But that's putting a strain on the natural resources. Traveling green is best done with your own 2 feet. But I found the mass transit system here is a good second option. The KL monorail stops at most of the key destinations and is very easy to navigate.
I want a tiriwangsa, please. For just 250 ringgit, you can take the monorail from one end of the city all the way to the other.
It opened in 2003 and averages 45,000 commuters each day. Narrow tracks, built high above street level, give it a smaller environmental footprint. And rubber wheels make for a quieter ride, keeping noise pollution low.
What makes this monorail more environmentally friendly than other railways is that when it was being built, hundreds of trees were removed from its path and replanted elsewhere in the city.
The historical sites in this city are fairly close together, so you can easily walk. But the monorail is a scenic alternative and a great way to orient yourself to the city. One landmark that you can easily reach by monorail is the KL Tower. This is where you'll find the highest views of the city, if you're lucky enough to catch a clear day. Being in a valley poses some environmental hazards to KL, smog being one of them. The tower was built on a hill, smack in the middle of the only tropical rainforest left in Kuala Lumpur, Bukit Nanas.
When the KL Tower was constructed, they made an effort to conserve some of the natural environment. So the original position of the tower was actually moved to preserve this 100-year-old jelutong tree.
Originally home to tigers and elephants, Bukit Nanas is now a protected area with acres of nature trails. Just a few monorail stops from Bukit Nanas is the cultural center of KL, the Central Market.
Central Market was slated for destruction until local conservationists stepped in to save it.
They converted the Art Deco building into a showcase for Chinese, Indian, and Malay handicrafts.
This is a traditional Malaysian kite. It's a moon kite.
Kite flying has a long history in Malaysia, and there are many different kinds. The handmade ones of bamboo and paper take many hours to create and are true works of art. I'm beating a path out of the city center to a restaurant only the locals know about. The specialty of the house is called Beggar's Chicken, and you have to call in your order at least a day in advance.
How many other restaurants prepare Beggar's Chicken?
Only one in Kuala Lumpur.
You're the only one in Kuala Lumpur.
That's right.
So you must be a popular man.
Yeah, maybe.
Hundreds of years ago, there was a beggar. He went and he stole some chickens, and he didn't want anyone to know he stole them, and he was cooking them, so he wrapped them in a clay pot to hide the smell and shoved them under the coals so no one would know.
Chinese immigrants brought the recipe to Malaysia, and the new Hong Kee restaurant has been cooking chickens this way for more than 20 years. First, the chicken is stuffed with organic herbs like ginseng and oxenberry. Then, the legs get folded inside the belly.
Wish I was that flexible.
After a little time marinating in soy sauce, it's covered with several layers of paper.
I'll time you to see how fast you can do one. Perfect.
2 more layers.
I'm gonna put a bow on mine. It's like a little chicken Christmas present.
Next up, several layers of clay.
Get our hands dirty a little bit.
This way. Yeah.
I'm gonna put an E here for the earth-tripping chicken. Then what do you do with this?
Wash.
The chicken gets shoveled into hot coals, where it cooks for 6 to 8 hours.
It's a heavy chicken now.
I, of course, called in my order well in advance, so it's ready to be pulled from the oven.
Wow. That's already cooked.
Dinner is served.
Yeah, this is our Beggar Chicken.
Yeah. I've never had a meal served to me in a wheelbarrow.
Hammer in hand, it's time to break open my dinner.
Ah, it's still hot.
Is it?
Now this is the reveal. It smells delicious. And then you just cut it up like
No
that.
need to cut. Just
No need to cut.
Yeah,
You just rip it off and start eating.
and stop it.
That's my style of food. The chicken just literally falls off the bone. It's so soft. It's delicious.
And delicious.
This will be a meal I will never forget.
Curious to see what else the state of Selangor has to offer, I'm traveling to the land of the Orang Asli, the indigenous people of Malaysia. They played an important role in early trade when the raw materials of the jungle were in demand. But as Kuala Lumpur developed, their way of life became obsolete. Today, just over 100,000 remain living in the outskirts of KL in the jungle interior of Malaysia.
Here along the Langat River, the Orang Asli earn a living while maintaining their philosophy of being the guardians of the forest. The forest is part of who they are, and they want to see it preserved.
So sustainable tourism can really make a difference here. Josen from Woe Adventures teaches travelers about life in the jungle while providing a source of income for the native people. I've come to learn how to build a traditional bamboo raft and float it down the river. Bamboo is one of the most eco-friendly materials on the planet. It grows super fast, and the deeper into the jungle you go, the older and stronger the trees. Adam, my Orang Asli guide, and Josen takes us in search of suitable trees. The trick to cutting down bamboo is to make a V with the machete.
It looks easier than it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, here you go, guys.
All right. If you notice, I have a nice, precise, clean chop right here. Just like the Orang Asli.
Okay.
Hey!
Woo! Okay.
How many chops does it take you to do it?
Kalau saya potong, 4 kali pun putus.
Oh, just 4 times.
4 times. Oh, well, I'm gonna see if Adam can do it in 4 chops.
Yeah, he said you can. Okay.
4.
You chop sekarang. You tunjuk dia bagaimana chop. Chop saja.
2.
Oh! 3! He did it in 3! Well done! Champion!
My team treks down to the river's edge, and our bamboo goes into the water.
It's important to build the raft in the water. If you build it on land and then bring it in the water, all this stuff loosens up and your raft will fall apart.
It's a lot easier for them to build it because the bamboo will float and they can move it around easier. Because you build it on land, it's very heavy.
Yeah.
So you use the leverage on water.
Ah, there you go. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
And this can sustain some pretty significant weight?
About 3 people.
3 people.
It's not so stable, but that's the fun part.
Everyone ready? Let's go. Pretty fun, man.
We enjoy nature and we want to advise people who are coming to Malaysia. We want to work with operators who are responsible not just to the clients but towards nature as well. It's a form of sustainability for ecotourism. So we are one step higher than Eco Adventures.
At the end of our river run, our raft will be donated to the local villagers.
They'll build fences and furniture, whatever things they need to do with it. It's kind of like recycling.
Definitely like
Yeah, so nothing goes to waste.
Well, the raft made it, man. All the way down the river. There were a few little rapids here and there. I'm soaking wet. I fell off once, but what an amazing adventure.
Traveling northwest across Selangor, I'm continuing my earth tripping in the land of the paddy fields. 80% of the land here is rice paddies. White rice is a staple of the Malay diet. And many families still practice the traditional way of separating rice from its husk.
Right hand.
Okay.
As you bang the rice paddies,
This doesn't hurt the rice?
No.
No.
all the rice comes off the husk.
It's good teamwork.
Oh, slowly, slowly.
And you say you're the expert. It's all over the place. This is my first time. The next step is we're gonna have to shake all the husks away from the rice. So you shake it into the wind so all the husks will blow off.
Yeah.
And you're left with just the rice. Can I try?
Only
this?
hand, only hand, only hand.
Just the hand.
Only hand.
Malaysians eat a lot of mangoes, one of my personal favorites. But unfortunately, not a local fruit where I live.
How do you say mango in your language?
In Jawa, they call pelam.
Pulam.
No, their pronoun is lam.
Pulam.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm here to help the mango growers with some tree planting and sink my teeth into a locally grown, deliciously ripe mango. The 350 trees on this plantation produce about 10 to 15 tons of mangoes each season.
Do you need help?
You want to?
I want to do it. That's why I came here.
Well, that, but have I mentioned I'm salivating for a fresh mango?
Who goes and picks all the mangoes?
You do it. Yeah, and my family.
And how do you know when a mango is ripe?
When the color is changed
From green to
from green to yellow.
yellow. You have to promise when it makes its first mango, you will send it to the United States.
I promise.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
It'll be 3 years before I get that mango. So we go in search of a juicy one that I can try right now.
This is ripe already.
This is right.
Ah, is it?
I didn't even need this. You teach me how to cut it. Perfect? That's fresh.
Yeah. How about the taste?
Very sweet.
Very sweet.
Very sweet. So do you eat mangoes every day?
Every day.
I would too, if I had this orchard in my backyard. Next up, one-on-one instruction on kite making,
I'm Ethan.
just like the ones I saw in the Central Market.
So this is bamboo, and it looks like it's going to be used to make the frame of the kite.
The bamboo is whittled thinner and thinner to make it more pliable.
Can I try? So I just need to make it more thin.
Yeah. Slowly. Yeah, very good.
You hear that? Very good. My first try.
Kites were traditionally made after the harvest season was over, and it was time to have some fun.
One of the interesting things about making these kites is he does this all by feel, and obviously a kite has to be fairly balanced to fly successfully.
2 hours of labor. This thing better fly. Time to put it to the test.
We're gonna fly this thing. So everyone cross your fingers and we'll see how it goes. You ready? Here we go. Whoa, it's drunk! I have a drunk kite! Come back! Clear! Come on, buddy. Come on, you got it. Here we go. Oh! One more time. Gently. Ah, there we go. Look how beautiful. Oh no, kamikaze. Nice. Ah, rest in peace.
As the sun begins to set across the rice paddies, I join my hosts for a traditional breakfast meal. Sitting cross-legged in my sarong on the floor, I feel like one of the family.
Sitting this way isn't tough. It's eating in a sarong is the tough part.
It's airy, you know? It's kind of weather
be careful.
unique.
First, a teapot filled with water is passed around to wash our hands,
So you only wash your right hand, right?
Yes.
because much of the food is eaten with your fingers.
Don't drink this.
After the prayers, it's time to eat.
Doing a good deed during this month is like doing 10 times in other months.
So do you think they're learning from me and I'm learning from them?
Yes, yes. So how is stomach?
Stomach's, I think my stomach's pretty good.
In fact, it's full. Just 7 miles north of the city limits, I've arrived at my final destination in KL.
Behind me is the most sacred Hindu site in all of Malaysia, the Batu Caves.
The caves were hidden by the jungle until they were officially discovered in 1878 by American naturalist William Hornaday. Shortly after, Hindus began making pilgrimages here and turned the limestone caves into a shrine for Lord Murugan, the god of war. When you first arrive, you'll want to spend some time exploring the Hindu temple at the base. The roof is an explosion of psychedelically colored Hindu deities. Inside, priests offer puja, and visitors are welcome to roam around to admire all the wonderful art. The steps up to the caves weren't built until 1931. Before that, people had to scramble over the rocks to reach the shrine.
Here I go. 1.
Visitors have it a little easier these days.
Step 10, only 262 to go.
The Batu Caves consist of 3 main caves and a number of small ones. The biggest and most beautiful section is the Temple Cave. The light coming through the top gives the whole cave a spiritual atmosphere. But watch out for the monkeys. They roam freely and nimbly scale the walls to come down and grab bananas left by visitors. In Hinduism, bananas are considered a sign of abundance.
Fast becoming modern, Kuala Lumpur is a major cosmopolitan city trying to preserve its cultural identity and natural environment.
In just a small radius, I've gone from the city center to the paddy fields to a mecca for Hinduism.
I've met some incredible people, experienced the great beauty of this country, and seen a whole new side of Asia. I'm Ethan Zahn. See you next time on Earth Tripping.